What's good? What's good? I'm back. Yours truly, one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and much, much more. For those who don't know, I usually go live in the mornings on TikTok and Bingo Live, and I pre-record for YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Rumble, BitChute, Twitter, and Twitch as well for the video version. And the audio version goes to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, Slacker, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and much, much more. In the mornings, I'll do sports updates, and in afternoons, I usually do a reaction to a video or some comment or some content that's out there. So I want to get into the game so far. All right, so playoffs started the day before yesterday, and so far we've had few upsets. And hold up, where's the playoff? There they go. All right, so far we've had the Nuggets beat the T-Wolves in game 1. Suns lost to the Clippers. Kings beat the Warriors, and Lakers beat the Grizzlies. I definitely had the Lakers winning that series. I got the Warriors beating the Kings in that series because I think the Warriors definitely figure it out. So let me go over. I want to go over the games that were the day before yesterday. And it's not pulling up for me. All right, so let's go over the Lakers and the Memphis game. Anthony Davis and Ja Morant both got hurt in this game, but Davis came back. Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves powered the Lakers to game 1. You got 21 from LeBron with 11 rebounds, 22, 12 rebounds, and 7 blocks, 3 steals from Anthony Davis. And that's after he got hurt and all that. And came back. 23 for Austin Reeves, 19 from D'Angelo Russell with 7 assists, and 29 from Rui Hachimura, who gave you 29 points and 6 rebounds off the bench. So definitely was a good pickup for the Lakers. All the moves that the Lakers made after the All-Star break definitely made their team better. Ja Morant got hurt, but he did play 30 minutes. He only scored 18 points, 22 from Desmond Bain, 31 from Jaren Jackson Jr., but he was a negative 15. You know, Dylan Brooks gave you 15, but he was a negative 18. You know, typically, if you see a team like the Lakers, LeBron was a +7, Anthony Davis +27, Austin Reeves +15, +20 for D'Angelo Russell, and +12 for Rui Hachimura. And when you see a team that's got 4 players like that are all on the plus side, and then other teams got the whole starters are in the negative for plus minus, you're not going to win that game. It's not happening. No chance in hell. Miami and Milwaukee, that's an upset because Miami was a 8th seed. They won 130 to 117. Giannis got hurt and he only played 10 minutes. So that is a big part of why the Heat won. Max Strauss didn't do nothing. And Jimmy Butler gave you 35, 22 from Bam Adebayo with 7 assists and 9 rebounds. And Jimmy Butler also gave you 11 assists on his 35 points, Tyler Hero broke his hand in this game, if I'm not mistaken. He gave you 12 points. He's probably done for the season. 15 from Gabe Vincent and 15 from Caleb Martin and 18 from Kevin Love off the bench. Good pickup. It looks that Kevin Love pickup looks like it was a pretty good pickup. He gave you 18 points in 22 minutes, along with 8 rebounds as well. The Bucks, Chris Middleton gave you 33, 21 from Bobby Portis off the bench, but not enough from Jrue Holiday and the rest of the crew. Jrue Holiday did give you 16 points and 16 assists, but it's not enough with Giannis out, man. I mean, your best player goes out, you're more likely going to probably have a very good chance of losing that game. And if you lose that game, it's pretty much you got a good reason. Your best player went out. Kawhi Rupp for 38 to carry Clippers past the Suns. He gave you 38, 5 and 5, 12 and 15 from Zubac, 19 from Eric Gordon, and Russell Westbrook gave you 9 points, 8 assists, and 11 rebounds with 2 steals, 3 blocks on only 2 turnovers. He was a -6, but he had a pretty efficient night except for shooting. That's why he was a -6. He was 3 for 19 shooting, but he had 3 blocks, 2 steals, 8 assists, and 11 rebounds. Mason Plumlee gave you 7-11 off the bench, and Norman Powell gave you 14 off the bench and 10 from Terrence Mann. And the Suns, Kevin Durant definitely played the passive-aggressive this first game. He had 27 points, 11 assists, and 9 rebounds. It seems like he played Chris Paul's role this game. Chris Paul had 7 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. So you had Chris Paul had a double-double with rebounds and assists. That's crazy for a small guard like that. 18 and 8 from DeAndre Hunter and 26 from Booker, but he was a -6. He had 3 blocks. Booker had 3 blocks and 4 steals. I mean, he was playing hard on the defensive end for sure. But they need Kevin Durant not be so passive-aggressive. They need Kevin Durant to just take over the game. Minnesota lost to the Nuggets 109-80, as they probably should. I got the Nuggets sweeping this series. Nobody did anything for Minnesota. Anthony Edwards had 18 points, but he had a -12. Porter Jr. for Denver gave you 18 and 11 rebounds, 13 from Aaron Gordon, 13 and 14 and 6 assists from the Joker, 15 from Contavious Caldwell-Pope, who's that championship experience is going to help out this playoff run. 24 from Jamal Murray with 8 rebounds and 8 assists, almost a triple-double for him, and 14 for Bruce Brown off the bench as well. Trying to see if I can pull up these other games. Apparently, they ain't pulling up my games for the 15th. All right, here's the other playoff games. Brooklyn played Philly. Brooklyn got beat by Philly. I got the Sixers probably sweeping that, or a gentleman's sweep. You got 18 from Cam Johnson, former Tar Heel, 30 from Mikal Bridges, Mikal Bridges will be an all-star next year. Mark my words. If he keeps this up, he will be an all-star next year. You only got 14 from Spencer Dinwiddie. Looks like oh boy was right about him. Oh boy from the Warriors that he's beefing with right now. I can't even think of the name right now. It's a little too early. The Sixers gave you 21 from Tobias Harris, 26 from Joel Embiid, 23 and 13 from James Harden as well. So I got them sweeping that series. The Hawks lost to the Six. The Celtics, I got the Celtics sweeping this series. Jaylen Brown gave you 29 with 12 rebounds and 25 and 11 rebounds from Jason Tatum. I mean, if they keep doing that, doubles with 25 or more, they're going to be impossible to beat. Derek White gave you 24 points. And Marcus Smart gave you 11 with 7 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocks on only 2 turnovers, and 12 from Robert Williams as well. And then you got Knicks in Cleveland, which I wouldn't say the Knicks, anytime a 5 beats a 4, I wouldn't really call that an upset. Knicks beat Cavs 101-97. Donovan Mitchell did his thing. Julius Randle gave you 19 and 10 rebounds, 27 from Jalen Brunson, 17 from Josh Hart with 10 rebounds as well. Donovan Mitchell put up 38, but you didn't get much from nobody else. 14 and 14 from Jared Allen, 8 and 11 from Mobley, 17 and 1 assist from Darius Garland. Donovan Mitchell also had 8 assists. Darius Garland needs to be more aggressive. Jared Allen and Mobley, they need to step it up on the defensive end. Warriors lost to the King. Fox scores 38 in playoff debut. This is going to be an interesting one. Yeah, I said I'm not sold on the Kings first round. I think that the Warriors' playoff experience and championship experience is going to overcome. But they're going to have to do better than this. I mean, you got Draymond gave you 4 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. That he did his job. His job isn't to score. Klay Thompson, 21 points. That's not going to be enough. On 5 for 14 shooting, 8 for threes, and 8 from 19 from field goals. That's not going to be enough. And he was a negative 14. Steph Curry gave you 30 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Wiggins gave you 17, 7 for 16 shooting, 17 for Jordan Poole. Klay Thompson is going to have to step it up. Kings. Harrison Barnes, who played all 82 games this year for Tar Heel, gave you 13 points, 7 rebounds, 12 and 16 rebounds for Domantas Sabonis, 38 points, 5 assists for De'Aaron Fox, and 32 for Malik Monk, who the Charlotte Hornets probably should have kept. And Trey Lyles gave you 16 with 6 rebounds off the bench as well. Warriors are going to have to win next game. Warriors are going to have to figure out how to win on the road in this playoff series if they want to stand a chance, any chance in hell of even coming out the first round. And you know what? I don't remember what player it was that tried to make it a color issue with Austin Reeves. Oh, he's only getting all this hype because he's a Laker and he's a white boy. Well, pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes on that one because he balled the fuck out. Game 1 of the playoffs, and that's when everybody always says it matters most in the playoffs. Like, they make it everything too much of a race issue in sports, man, and it's really making sports really unattractive and unentertaining right now that we got to make everything a freaking race issue. That's like if Joker wins the MVP again, there's people going to go batshit crazy and make it a race issue, even though I got Giannis for MVP. If I was voting for MVP, I would pick Giannis. I wouldn't vote for Embiid simply because it's his turn. That's not how you vote for MVP because it's their turn. You vote for MVP based on who's the most valuable player to their team. And one thing I know about Embiid is James Harden is a future Hall of Famer, and James Harden is also top 10 in the MVP voting. There's no way I could vote you number 1 in the MVP voting if there's another guy on your team who's top 10. Who's top 10? That's why I think Jaylen Brown kind of X's out Jason Tatum a little bit. Jason Tatum will probably never win MVP as long as Jaylen Brown is on the team, because Jaylen Brown plays like an MVP himself. You can't be the number one MVP on the team when you got another guy on your team that's potentially top 10 MVP race. You know, you can't. I'm sorry, that X's you out. And I would pick Giannis over to win it again, even though Giannis has won. If I'm not mistaken, Giannis has won back-to-back already. This would be Giannis's third MVP, and if he wins the championship this year, it'd be Giannis's second Finals MVP, or second probably Finals MVP, second championship, and if he wins the MVP, it'd be his third MVP. And then I gotta say, what if Giannis goes to the championship this year against Phoenix again and beats Phoenix? Where would Giannis rank? Would you put Giannis over Kevin Durant if he goes and beats Phoenix again this year in the finals with Kevin Durant? I would, because he's done it in a small market, won 2 championships in a matter of 3 to 4 years in a small market. Who does that? And there's great potential that Giannis could win a championship again this year in small little Milwaukee market. Yeah, Milwaukee's a big city, but it's a small market. Chris Middleton was hurt most of the year, so there's that. His second best player was hurt most of the year. You know, Giannis, like Embiid and Joker have their second best player the majority of the year. Giannis didn't. And then Jrue Holiday was hurt as well a portion of the year, who was the third best player. So I would pick Giannis for MVP. And also, you know what? Let's go over the where they at? The MVP, the Kia NBA awards. Let me go over that real quick. Of course, most valuable players between Giannis, Embiid, and Joker. And I've seen where Joker supposedly is first in the rankings. They got him first. Defensive player of the year, Jaren Jackson, Brook Lopez, Evan Mobley. It's going to be tough. I would pick Jaren Jackson or Evan Mobley. I'd definitely pick Jaren Jackson or Evan Mobley. Because Brook Lopez also has Jrue Holiday and Giannis on the team. Giannis is probably, to be honest with you, even though he's not on this list, Giannis is the best defensive player in the league. The best defensive player in the league. Kia MVP, NBA Most Improved Player, Jalen Brunson, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, or Lauri Markkanen. I would have to go with Shai. Lauri Markkanen's point per game went up more, but the Jazz, they were looking good at the beginning of the year, and then they plummeted, and then Lauri Markkanen got hurt. And I would definitely have to pick Jalen Brunson over Lauri Markkanen too, because of how he stabilized New York, what Jalen Brunson has done for New York. And to be honest with you, Jalen Brunson should have been, I might would put Jalen Brunson at like 6th on my MVP race behind Domantas Sabonis. Jalen Brunson has to be top 10 in the MVP race without a doubt. Kia NBA Rookie of the Year. Now, I've seen where Paolo Banchero was screwed out of unanimous Rookie of the Year because somebody picked Walker Kessler. And they picked Walker Kessler based on the analytics saying that he's more efficient, he's plus minus, the scoring margin, plus minus scoring margin when he's on the floor. But no way, no how. You can't. Paolo Banchero's without a doubt the unanimous Rookie of the Year, man. The idea that somebody picked Walker Kessler, and it was a guy who is a beat report for the Utah Jazz, and he said he wasn't picking him because it was a Jazz. But I mean, Walker Kessler is one of the top 3 finalists. So I mean, anybody picking a top 3 finalists, you can't really totally trash it. NBA's 6th man of the year: Malcolm Brogdon, Bobby Portis, Emmanuel Quickley. I would give it to Bobby Portis. And I watched the interview with Bobby Portis. I like Bobby Portis as a player, man. He's the kind of guy you need in the locker room. He's the kind of guy you need on his team. He got a bad rep in Chicago when he punched that one dude. But Bobby Portis, from what I see, man, Bobby Portis is just he's a great team player and a great guy. It just seems like he doesn't tolerate bullshit. Kia NBA Clutch Player of the Year. This is actually a new one. They got Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan, and De'Aaron Fox. If I would have to give it to anybody, I would have to give it to De'Aaron Fox. His team was number 3. They say he was the most clutch player all year long. Jimmy Butler is definitely clutch. That's the thing. I don't know if Jimmy could be the guy on a championship team, but Jimmy is the kind of guy you need on a championship team, man. NBA Coach of the Year: Mike Brown, Sacramento Kings; Mark Daigneault, Oklahoma City Thunder; and Joe Mazzulla, Boston Celtics. I can't give it to a guy who took over a team that went to the finals last year. Yeah, Ime Udoka had the little scandal with I guess he slept with an employee's wife or something like that. But these guys, they were literally in the finals last year, and they added Malcolm Brogdon and didn't lose nobody. So I can't give it to Joe Mazzulla. Just for stabilizing a team that could, to be honest with you, Boston Celtics could have made it to the playoffs without a coach this year. If I got to give it to anybody, it's either Mike Brown or Mark Daigneault. And I'm going to give it to Mike Brown. Mark Daigneault did a great job, man. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was literally probably first team, second team All-NBA. He took a major leap. They're still young. They did good, but Kings were literally ain't been in the playoffs forever. Forever. And they made it to a 3rd seed in the regular season. And you know what? They're playing with house money right now. Why are they playing with house money? Because me and everybody else in the media, mainstream media, sports media, whatever, debate shows, nobody is sold on the Kings getting out the first round. They're playing with house money. Nobody but the Kings coaching staff, the Kings players, and the fans think the Kings even stand a chance of beating the Warriors in the first round. And that's even with the Warriors having the worst road record in the NBA, pretty much, besides the Houston Rockets and the Pistons, of course. They definitely got the worst road wins for any team in the playoffs right now. So there's that. So yeah, I would give Mike Brown Coach of the Year, man. Kings are number 3. Especially if they get out the first round, let's see, who they got to play next? If the Kings get out the first round, they will play the winner of the Grizzlies or the Lakers. If the Kings can beat the Warriors in the first round, I'm convinced they have a chance to beat the Grizzlies or the Lakers. Probably the Grizzlies more than the Lakers, but even though I don't think the Grizzlies will get through this series. I had the Lakers winning this simply because of LeBron and AD if they're healthy, their championship experience, and then the team experience overall. Malik Beasley, D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, Dennis the Menace. And the player I couldn't think of earlier that was Spencer Dinwiddie is beefing with former Laker Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma looked like he was right about Spencer Dinwiddie and whatnot. But yeah, the Grizzlies, they have no experience. Steven Adams is hurt. Jaren Jackson has only been in the league 3 or 4 years. Ja Morant, like 2-3 years. Like, these guys are not experienced enough yet. Not to win it all. They're not getting past. No way, no how is the Grizzlies getting past the Warriors if they advance, the Clippers or the Suns, or the Nuggets. No way, no how, man. This is, playoff basketball is a old man's game. It's not a young man's game. It's an experienced man's game. And that's for anything in life. Anything in life. Like, I didn't go to college to learn how to market and promote music. I learned through experience. Experience is the number one thing of anything you do in life. This idea that you could go to college, read something in a book, and you've mastered it is horseshit. It's BS. And this idea that you could just go in the league, play basketball for a couple years, and you've mastered it, it's bogus. Because you have to fail. You have to lose before you can win. You have to fail before you can succeed. Look what we're talking about with Trae Young right now. Trae Young got as far as the Eastern Conference Finals and hasn't made it past the first round since, if I'm not mistaken. Let's pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes. And that's why I'm not convinced of the Kings. Because at the long run, I think experience, the only real experience the Kings have is former Tar Heel Harrison Barnes, who's a former Warrior, was the small forward for the first Warriors championship. And you got Domantas Sabonis, who's experienced, but he's not experienced in winning anything in this league. That's the thing. You got to be experienced on how to win a series after another series and another series and another series. That's why Boston at this point, they don't have 9 years under their belt with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but they got some 12 and 13-year-old experienced guys. And Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown has been to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 or 4 times since they've been in the league, and they've been to the NBA Finals. They know what it takes to win by now. They know. Once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Paul Pickett Podcast, and I'm out.